Speaking of best bets, it's that time. Let's unveil our NFL Week 3 best bets.
Weekend best bets.
We're on a hot streak with these, Dave. Tell the people about it.
Yeah, we certainly are. Best bets featured on the podcast in week 1 went 4-0 between Thursday Night Football and Sunday. We talked about the spread and the under in that game. Got, as everyone knows, we got the grace of the football god with the under in that one with the delay, nuking all offensive movement in the second half. But a cash is a cash. Week 2, we faded Thursday Night Football as discussed on this podcast for the bets. Went 2-0 on Sunday for our game lines. We did miss our TD prop of Bucky Irving. I will say our week 1 TD prop was David Montgomery, and he got in week 2. Week 2 was Bucky Irving. If he gets in week 3, we might be onto something just a week after that trend. But, hopefully, we'll get in this week, and we'll get the whole sweep. So let me pull these up here. Top probability we'll start with Rams +4 at the Eagles. We talked about this on Tuesday. This has gone up a good bit, actually. We got an extra half a point, which makes sense for the increase in probability. But we've also gotten a significant jump up from 58.9% to 65.3% probability. The model is seeing something very good here for the Rams. The model loves the Rams in this spot. -125 odds on BetMGM, a little juicier than you like to see in a spread. You usually want that around -110, -112, -115 if you can get it. However, this high probability means that even at that little extra juice, you're getting a very strong edge, 9.8%. It's substantial. What it also is to me is it's under the too high edge in a game line for me. When I see it get over 10%, 12%, I start to wonder if we might just be missing a little something there, because these are sharp lines. And this is within the range that I would consider very playable for me personally. On Tuesday, I said I like this at 3.5, which I would have liked at 2.5, 1.5, whatever the model said with its spreads right now. But getting an extra half a point, which doesn't do a ton for any key number, but at least buys you a push. And the 59% probability. So I definitely like these numbers. Rams are in good shape. They looked excellent last week after a fairly quiet week 1 against a very good Texas defense. Eagles didn't quite look their best against a Chiefs team whose struggles we've discussed at length on this podcast. They're not showing the passing game upside I need to see to fade a projection of this high. Jalen Hurts threw for like about 100 yards in week 2 on 22 attempts. Even with low volume like that, Jordan Love, I think, threw 22 passes in week 1 and definitely had more than 100 yards. I believe Hurts was averaging something like fewer than 10 air yards per pass attempt, which is not good. It's not good for the receivers. It's not good for moving the ball quickly down the field. If you are going to run the ball 35 times a game between Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, you're going to give the Rams chances to end your drives to stay in this. And I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset here. I bet we have value on the money line in this. That's me speculating. But if our edge is this good at +4 for the dog, I bet there's something there on the money line. If not, very close. Fair odds type of deal.
Yep. Yeah, I'll just add Rams, Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, right? Anytime you beat the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, you're going to get this sort of boost of confidence publicly of like, you did it again. You knocked off the king. The Eagles have the narrative championship right now and the Super Bowl championship. They're a public team. They're a fun team. But this Chiefs team is not the old Chiefs team. This is not the team they obliterated in the Super Bowl. I was not impressed with either side in that Eagles-Chiefs game. And, to eke out a 1-score win against the Chiefs while Pat Mahomes was missing throws left and right and just doesn't look himself.
Right.
I don't know how much we should put stock into the Eagles having a great performance there. So I'm with it. The Rams have looked phenomenal. I see what the model sees in this one, and this will be on the card.
Great. Sweet. Yeah, so Rams in agreement here. Let's move to our best edge, which is actually also the Rams, as you can see on the screen, 0.6% higher than our next. So we're going to go to the next best edge for our best edge of the week, which is the Browns +8.5. This was not this high probability on Tuesday, Not completely sure. That could have been because we were still processing some week 2 data. But we've seen favorable model movement here as well. Browns covered week 1 on the backs of their defense, absolutely stifling the Bengals, who couldn't even move the ball in the second half. Packers are 2-0 against the spread in both games. Total is only 41.5, which suggests a lower scoring game. Traditionally, that makes it easier for the underdog to cover, especially a larger number, fewer points, fewer scores to catch up. We do have a final projected score of 24-18 for the Packers. So just barely over the total, but almost a full field goal cover by the Browns is what's really boosting this 61.8% probability. Again, over a 9% edge, and you're getting this at that odds range that you like to see on a spread, -110 at DraftKings. It's a road game for the Packers. They've scored 27 in both games. So if the Browns are going to cover this number, they can't let the Packers drop 27 on them on the road. I doubt the Browns are clearing 20 points in this game, which they pretty much will have to do if they're going to let the Packers run up the score and also cover this number. So, I like the model's projection or probability here and the value for the spread. Kind of makes me want to touch the under a bit, maybe in tandem with this, because I just don't think both are going to happen. If one happens, the other probably will, or the opposite. They're not going over in the Browns covering this unless they are flipping this game on its head, blowing out the Packers, or running out the score and sneaking in with a final walk-off field goal or something. But
Joe Flacco glory days are behind him. That's what you mean to tell me?
Yeah. He's shown some flash in his advanced age, but I think everybody's ready for Joe Flacco to move on from football, probably even Joe Flacco.
Sure. No, similar spot. Just I would add, I think the model, the model isn't necessarily situational dependent, right? It's going to show value in the caliber of the actual teams and where the sports books sets the lines at. But as a situational bettor myself, I would just add, you're taking both the Packers and the Eagles here as teams that are 2-0, riding as hot as you possibly can. Green Bay hasn't played out of Green Bay yet. This is a very traditional comeback to earth spot for 2-0 teams. We see it every single year. So I was already kind of situationally marking these, and to see the model back it up, it definitely makes you excited to potentially fade teams in that spot.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
And then for our last one here, we're going to talk about a touchdown prop. It is Jordan Mason. We took you through this game a little bit already and spoke to the idea that we like the running backs to get a heavy workload with the backup quarterbacks now stepping into the starting job. But our model shows a 53% probability for Mason at even money. I think that's fantastic value. It's a 2.7% edge. It's the highest probability that shows value on our site. The next highest probability for this week is back down at 45%. So anytime you see a probability greater than 50 that's also showing value, it's almost a must add for me on a week-to-week basis. Mason hasn't found the end zone yet, but I think he's looked great throughout the season. He is a goal line back. Like, he's a guy that we don't shy away from, almost like what happened to Bucky earlier this week that still gives me PTSD. If they're around the goal line, he's going to be in the game without Aaron Jones here. And again, Carson Wentz under center, I'm sure he can play still. I'm sure, I think he's 32, 33 years old. This isn't going to be the old Philadelphia teams that wanted to come out and throw Carson 40 times. Even if he does look the part, they're going to get a heavy workload in the hands of Jordan Mason in this game. So that'll conclude our three that show an edge here. Hopefully you see the value in these just the same way that we do, and we will lock those in as our week 3 best bets. Reminder, Dimers Pro is what you need to get insights in Thursday Night Football and all other games this season. You're going to want to take advantage for the rest of football season. So go check out Dimers Pro. Give it a try. Let us know how you feel about it. I promise you're going to like it, and it'll help you find some profits throughout the season.